welcome to Nagaland TV. You're watching Midday News. I'll read the headlines to you now. Dimapur Ao Youth Organization extends full support to NFHRCC serving 30-day ultimatum to state government to positively respond to the plea of making the Foothill road pliable. Nagaland Governor R.N. Ravi pays tribute to founding father of Nagaland, Dr. Imkong Liba Ao, on his 62nd Maritime Day, refers Ao as visionary leader with extraordinary courage and strategic foresight. In order to review the steps being taken to manage COVID-19 pandemic at district level, senior administrative officers along with a senior officer from the Health and Family Welfare Department visits districts. Wokha Circle Students Union to strictly monitor and preserve Swangmang Lake appeals general public to refrain from any kind of immoral activities in and around the lake. Air India flight carrying 78 passengers and 25 Indian citizens land in Delhi. Evacuation flows in from Kabul in an IAF MCC aircraft. MEA says government committed to safe return of all Indians. I'll read the news in details now. Dimapur Ao Youth Organization has extended full support to the 30-day ultimatum served on the state government by Nagaland Foothills Road Coordination Committee to positively respond to the plea of making the Foothill Road pliable. In a release, DAYO President Ao Temsu Iyer and General Secretary S. Pangartoshi accused the state government of consistently ignoring the plight of the majority of Nagaland state population. DAYO also termed as regrettable the alleged step-motherly treatment towards one of the oldest connectivity projects in the state. DAYO also stated that unless the Foothills Road was made motorable, there would be always border flashpoints for armed conflicts and economic blockades like the recent Surangkong land intrusion. Senior administrative officers along with the senior officer from the Health and Family Welfare Department visited districts and held meetings with the district task forces in order to review the steps being taken to manage COVID-19 pandemic at the district level. District Task Officer on COVID-19 Wokha held a meeting with Commissioner and Secretary Excise and Sericulture Orang Pemo Kikon and Joint Health Director Health and Family Welfare Dr. Kekroshui Tetso at the conference hall of the Deputy Commissioner yesterday. Reportedly, Orang Pemo Kikon said that the district has been doing a commendable job from the beginning of the pandemic till today. He stressed on attaining 100% district vaccination and increasing COVID testing. Nagaland Sustainable Development Goals Vision 2030 in its Goal 5 on gender equality aims to achieve gender equality and empower all girls and women. The vision is to improve the socio-economic status of women as well as to provide support services to the mainstream and balance the gender divide, uplift women and facilitate their self-dependency. The vision statement stated that along with enabling and encouraging women to develop their skills, marketplaces which are gender balanced and gender responsive will help uplift women and allow a greater reach of their products and services. Wokha Circle Students Union informed the general public of Wokha town that the union would be strictly monitoring and preserving the Sumang Lake. In a press release, the WCSU President C. Long Situng Lotha and General Secretary Jonji Bemo Topse informed that the WCSU has prohibited any kind of immoral activities, drinking alcohol, partying, commotion and loitering in and around the lake. jurisdiction in this regard. The union stated that it would remain vigilant and has warned any individual group found violating the order would be penalized and strict action would be initiated against the defaulters. WCSU therefore appealed all concerned to cooperate with the union. Two leopard cubs were rescued from Tening village under Parent district and transferred to Nagaland Zoological Park on recently. Reportedly, the two leopards were found on August 28th by a group of boys aged around 11 to 12 years from Tening village. According to the boys, the leopard cubs were found abandoned in a hollow tree near a stream adjacent to the paddy fields of the village. Furthermore, the children took the cubs to the village, after which a concerned teacher from the village informed the Extra Assistant Commissioner for necessary assistance in handing over the cubs to concerned authorities. Training on pediatric care in COVID-19 and psychological wellness was organized by the Medical Department for NUHM and Wokha Sadar Asas at CMO Conference Hall, Wokha on August 23rd. A press release from CMO office, Wokha, stated that Dr. Zuben Kikon, Deputy Chief Medical Officer, Wokha, highlighted the vulnerability of children to the Delta variant of COVID-19 during the third wave. Dr. Kikon emphasized on good nutrition for children to boost the immunity system and also noted on the need to avoid exposing children to the disease at crowded places, public places. Vaccination of age-appropriate groups is the key control, he said, to the spread of the coronavirus. Chief Medical Officer Kohima Office along with District Health Society NHM Department of Health and Family Welfare conducted training for urban accredited social health activists on pediatric care in COVID-19 at PMTI Hall on August 23rd. Western Angami Students Union on August 21st organized a career guidance and felicitation program at Zehu Zubza Council Hall. The union informed that the program was held to felicitate students of the unit who had passed HSLC and HSSLC examination 2021 while also providing career guidance to students for further studies. Resource persons for the program were Joint Director Higher Education Kohima, Rokono Keo and Kuolashi CEO Say Otto. During the first session, Rokono Keo shared about the new education policy NEP 2020 and changes in the education system. Speaking on the topic business potentialities in Nagaland, Kuolashili Say challenged the students to think of a business as a career and shared business potentials available in Nagaland. Nagaland Governor R.N. Ravi paid glowing tributes to Dr. Imkong Liba Ao, the founding father of Nagaland, on his 62nd Meriton Day on Tuesday. In his message passed through a text circular, the governor referred Ao as a visionary leader with extraordinary courage and strategic foresight. He stated that Dr. Ao pulled the Nagas out of the bloody chaos, thereby uniting the Naga family in one politico-administrative entity. On the occasion, he urged everyone to commit to build a Nagaland of Dr. Ao's dream of a happy and prosperous state in which the youths, free from every kind of fear, apprehension or inhibition, will blossom in an ecosystem of unlimited opportunities for growth and fulfillment. Furthermore, R.N. Ravi is the first ever constitutional functionary who has officially accorded recognition to the Naga pioneers of state under the NPC led by Dr. Ao. He has also renamed the Raj Bhavan Durbar Hall as Dr. Imkong Liba Memorial Hall in 2020. Nagaland government issued the new SOP on 19th of August, whereby it was mentioned that recreational area and similar places are permitted to open up to maximum of 50% capacity. But as simple as it like, public health measures were to be followed in the places. In lieu to this, NLTV made a ground report where we talked to the street vendors and to the customers to get their views on the same.
Public expressed happiness over reopening of recreational places. Street vendors equally happy with Unlock 5. Prices of items remain unchanged. Dimapur people relish Naga street food after a long gap. Life seems to be back to normalcy in Nagaland following lockdown for past few months. As Nagaland heading towards Unlock, empty streets are getting crowded again. Shops are allowed to open now within compliance with COVID guidelines. The food stalls have been permitted to operate till 9 in the evening, and that has brought joy to the food lovers of Dimapur, as they have been allowed to come out of their home and visit the food joints and taste their favorite dishes. When NLTV went to visit one such place in City Tower, we found people enjoying street foods.
I'm so happy that na khololi dese, and then kinai ko corridor madu khawli na paina khawli do pai obviously, but ini han khawli do ini han kholi di na bishi thanks se, and then like ini bala se aro ina manami just sapara banais na aro literally man bin nai wo to ne ini khushi se.
The street vendors, although happy with the reopening order, they share their concern about the fact that the shops are allowed to open only on 4 days of the week. They say that the pandemic has hit them hard.
Only 4 दिन जो खोले public kan to man duk pasa Sunday to lebe aro Sunday di aro check na to ses fine taro bola gibona to kane takin je help di bola government pra 120 lebe help kro bola gide kan be jani bola gide,
and that they would appreciate the government's help in such dire situations. They say that it is difficult to manage their families' expenses given the prevailing scenario, and that they want full reopening of the state.
Kyu krubo opai nai ami garu katman ase na pare to man to duk pai to bacha aro maki kan ki khlabo government service kan to boy kan khai aro makan to makan so ki khau parbo duk pra khabo aro lachi pra marebo fine tarabo olta polta kro to ta kan be government kan be bujibo lagi na.
With video journalists Bendang Suneb and Khalil, Arama Chumi and Sunkumayer's report from Dimapur for Nagaland TV.
Moving on to the next story, Nagaland experienced deficit rainfall of 24% between June 1st to August 19, informed Sunit Das, senior scientist at Indian Meteorological Department Regional Centre, Guwahati. The weather condition in Nagaland resulted in poor germination and wilting of standing crops, where this is a massive crisis for the state as 70% of farmers are involved in jhum cultivation. Water scarcity has an indirect effect as infestation of fall armyworm in maize farms last week of March 2021 affected 3,048.45 hectares in 334 villages. The ministry added, Five mixed martial arts fighters from Nagaland will represent India at the Global Association of Mixed Martial Arts Asian MMA Championship, which is scheduled to take place in Kyrgyzstan from August 24th to 28th. One of the fighters from Nagaland, Maridin Mewai, told that he will fight in featherweight category, while Arsenuba Ozukum in flyweight category, Lima Suneb Imchen bantamweight, Kekrikinitso Angami lightweight and Long Sukuma Ao will be in the welterweight. All five fighters from the state are from Combat Academy Nagaland in Dimapur. Neumai Alos added that it would be the first exposure at international level. A total of 16 fighters will be representing India at the championship. Union government on Monday announced that it will monetize assets worth rupees 6 lakh crore between 2021 to 22 and between 2024 to 25 under the National Monetization Pipeline scheme, which was launched by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in New Delhi. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said assets being given out under the National Monetization Pipeline will still be owned by the government and will be returned to the government after a period of time. The government will not sell any of the assets and will utilize them in a better manner. The finance minister said and emphasized that the entire exercise will generate greater value and unlock resources for economy. She added that the pipeline will only include brownfield assets owned by the government and will not include land assets of the government. Recently, there were video clippings of the medical personnel on two-wheelers with COVID-19 vaccination kits on the backs negotiating treacherous sludge roads under Atingbong subdivision in Peran district. In another part of the district under Tening subdivision, villagers undertook a road clearing exercise at the long-neglected Tening Lekki road on August 23rd, adjacent to the boundary with Dima Hasao district, Assam. The jungle clearing exercise was undertaken by the village council of Old Nualong and Nualong Lodi, started from the 0 point to the Tenuki river. According to the locals, two villages became almost cut off to motor transport during the monsoon. Only vehicles bound for the two-way villages use the road as the villages fall on the far end of Peran's border with Assam, rendering them literally and figuratively forgotten to the state government and legislators who represent the area. Two FIRs have been registered against Union Minister Narayan Rane over his remarks about giving a tight slap to Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, who he claimed was ignorant of the country's year of independence. While one of the complaints was registered in Pune on Tuesday, the other one was filed in Nasik. Nasik Cyber Police registered an FIR on the complaint from the Shiv Sena's local chief, following which the police commissioner issued an order to arrest the union minister and formed a team led by DCP Sanjay Barkund for the same. Rane triggered the controversy while addressing a Jan Asirvad Yatra of the BJP in Raigarh district on Monday. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Monday told India's second-largest information technology company Infosys to resolve glitches in the functioning of the e-filing portal of the Income Tax Department by September 15. The company was also nudged to wrap up resources to ensure services to millions of taxpayers. According to reports, Nirmala Sitharaman summoned Salil Parekh, Managing Director and Chief Executive of Infosys, at her office seeking explanation over the company's inability to solve and resolve the snags in the portal even after 2.5 months since its launch. Refugees from Afghanistan staged a protest before the office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees in New Delhi on Monday. Protesters presented a list of demands including refugee cards, resettlement options in third world countries, and assurance of security from the global body and the Indian government. Seeking assurances of security from the Indian government and the global body, a member of the Afghan community said the refugees did not have any access to basic facilities like education and jobs and that they now needed security. A large number of desperate Afghan citizens are coming to India following the takeover of the war-torn country by the Taliban. Two of Jammu and Kashmir's most wanted terrorists were shot dead by the police in Srinagar on Monday. The two terrorists have been identified as top commander of terrorist outfit Lashkar-e-Toiba, Abbas Sheikh, and his second-in-command, Saqib Manzoor. Reportedly, on receiving information about the presence, Sheikh and his associate, the policemen, rushed to the area and took them by surprise, officials said. Before they got a chance to retaliate and cause any damage, they were gunned down. And now, giving you the COVID updates of the country, India reports 25,467 fresh COVID-19 cases and 354 deaths in the last 24 hours. India's recovery rate now stands at 97.68%. A total of 39,486 patients recovered in the last 24 hours, which brings the total recoveries to 3,17,20,112 across the country in the last 24 hours, with 3,19,551 active cases. Meanwhile, Nagaland records 29,589 COVID cases while 610 deaths. The government today announced that an Air India flight carrying 78 passengers, including 25 Indian citizens, enrolled to New Delhi from Tajikistan, Dushanbe, in a safe evacuation from Afghanistan. Minister of External Affairs spokesperson Arindam Bakshi took it to Twitter and said evacuees were flown in from Kabul in an IAF aircraft. The passengers also shouted slogans like Wahe Guru Ki Khalsa, Wahe Guru Ki Fateh for a safe return from Afghanistan. Indian Ministry of External Affairs further said the government is committed to safe return of all Indian nationals from Afghanistan.
All I can say with great humility is that Mother India and the resolute decision making of the Prime Minister, we have always had a tradition of receiving our brethren, especially those in difficult circumstances in the neighborhood, and today what has happened is a manifestation of that.
जो अफगान सेल खोला है उसमें जो भी व्हाट्सएप के माध्यम से, ईमेल के माध्यम से या फोन पर संपर्क करेंगे, उन सबको वापस लाने का हमारी प्रयास रहेगा।
ये हमारे लिए बहुत आदर और मान की बात है कि हम लोगों ने उन स्वरूप को रिसीव किया, यहाँ पर श्री गुरु साहब जी को रिसीव किया।
The United States mission in India has approved more student visas in 2021 so far than ever before, said the country's embassy in a statement on Monday. This comes despite the many challenges that people are facing in traveling abroad. As per the US Embassy, more than 55,000 students and exchange visitors have or will board flights from the country to go to the United States this year. More students are being approved every day, it said. The embassy further said that they will typically begin interviewing fall semester students for a year, given this May, since the second wave of COVID-19 forced the mission to delay the commencement. That is all for now. This is Gargideka signing off. Keep watching Nagaland TV for more news and updates.
हेलो सब मनु के सलाम जनाई दिया से और अपनी खान सब के नागालैंड टीवी आवाज दे स्वागत करे से आमी खान आज दो इदु गवर्नमेंट प्रा नागालैंड सरकार प्रा नागालैंड फिडोरे स्कूल्स और कॉलेजेस हायर सेकेंडरीज खान सब जुली